Anyway, so you guys have the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Fool. I feel like with this combination, someone's going to reach out to you and give you the opportunity to basically start fresh, most likely where career, money is concerned. The Fool to me is a brand new start, and I feel like it will most likely be at where you currently are. It doesn't have to be. It can be a new opportunity elsewhere. If you're applying, actively searching, then I think you'll definitely get or catch the interest of someone, most likely the King of Cups. And he will be the one to reach out and perhaps like give you or offer you some sort of contract or deal. And with the Fool here, there's definitely an interest on your end, and excitement even, to take it on because you like the idea of starting over, starting new elsewhere. And just for some of you in general, you might have this December can just be a month about beginnings for you and doing things differently. I get the vibe of trying to change the way you act towards things in general. Some might even want to take like a leap of faith. So just like it could be a month of feeling risky and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I know there's like maybe an 80% chance it'll fail. I've never done it before, but I really want to go ahead and take that chance. That's the vibe I'm getting from this trio. This can be someone that supports you, the King of Cups. He could be supporting you financially or just in general, someone around that maybe you're actually, again, starting over with. On the love side, we have the Chariot, the Seven of Wands, Queen of Cups. So, Queen of Cups is usually my emotional card. So there's a chance that this month in general, in terms of love, you might have a lot of emotions going on, bubbling up in the surface that you cannot control. For others of you, this can be a person that you are dealing with. And in terms of that, this might be someone that you're defending yourself against, or even defending against other people. Maybe, for instance, friends or family have a problem with the person that you're dating, and you find that you have to stick up for them or even stick up for yourself and your decision. There's an element of standing your ground with the Seven of Wands and this need to be protective, most likely over another person. And it could bring up a lot of emotions. And with the Chariot, this is fast-moving energy, so in terms of a relationship, if you're already in one, you and the other person can be moving ahead quite quickly. So this could be the energy of a whirlwind romance, especially if it's new. If it's long-standing, this could represent, for instance, a trip that's the focus between you guys. Or I do feel like there's this potential for you and the other person to kind of be you're going forward together, but at the same time, it's like two separate directions. Maybe you two aren't seeing 100% eye to eye, and there could be some disagreements that are happening with the Seven of Wands. For the most part, I do feel like the Seven of Wands is this energy of needing to either defend another person or defend your relationship. But for some, it could be that you're doing that with your partner because there's some form of contention there. With the Chariot, both of you, as I said, going in two different directions and not necessarily agreeing on who should lead, I guess I should say. With the overall theme cards, we have the World and the Eight of Cups. So overall, it shows this need or this desire of yours, and perhaps this is what you're going to do by the end of December, to close a chapter and essentially enter a new one, which I feel is the case because you do have the Fool, which is the card that immediately follows the World. you're leaving a situation behind. For some, it might be leaving a partner behind. Some of you might be traveling again outside of your current city or state and going somewhere that's very far away, possibly with no one else and just even like a bag or two, and going out on an adventure. Maybe you are actually trying to find yourself or something of that level. But I do feel like a lot of you are leaving a situation and not looking back, or without the intention to ever look back. All right, so let's get one on the King of Cups. Okay, King of Cups has the Knight of Wands. I still feel like he is a strong supporter of yours, whether romantic or on the business side, most likely the business side next to the Knight of Pentacles. Now, I mean, this could be someone that you have some form of chemistry with, and there is an attraction there, because I usually do get that with the Knight of Wands, and this is someone that you actively communicate with constantly, almost. I would say definitely on a daily basis. I definitely don't feel like that's your energy. With the Fool, we had the Hermit as the clarifier, and this could either represent the fact that you're thinking about starting fresh and taking a chance, or what you're starting fresh in involves education and higher learning. This could be something like, say you have your bachelor's, now you're going for your master's, you're going for an elevated level to further improve yourself, which could be supported here by the World, which again tends to start a new cycle. All right, so Queen of Cups. All right, Queen of Cups as your energy could represent this welling up of emotions that are almost binding you. It's like causing you to be unable to really function because you're unable to deal with it. Maybe you don't normally like to deal with your emotions. For some, you can be turning to things like drinking in order to cope. For others, and again, you're coping because of your relationship or whatever your romantic situation is. For others, this is your partner, and your partner might be struggling with something or choosing to engage in something that you find unfavorable, and that could be what the struggle is. And again, that's why you two aren't necessarily seeing eye to eye and almost moving in two distinct directions. I would say with the High Priestess here that a lot of this situation is being kept hidden and a secret, at least for now. So there's a chance that other people might think the situation is all rosy when in fact it might not be. For others, you might try to be getting at the bottom of a situation and essentially reversing this to gain some knowledge. Maybe your intuition is telling you something and you kind of try to like badger it out of another person, but it's not quite happening yet. Okay, who do I want? You. Oh, High Priestess again. So feeling intuitive, trusting your intuition is a big thing this month. Some of you definitely are leaving to pursue some sort of higher learning or education. In terms of retreat, this would be a spiritual one, because this came up twice, and with the Hermit, there is a spiritual energy here overall. I think I said find yourself type energy. Now I'm feeling it more strongly with that High Priestess. Maybe you actually feel like you need to do that. Like you want to learn something further. In order to do so, you gotta almost like leave everyone behind. All right, so I'm gonna get my extra little love card. And making music. So making or sharing sweet music is what harmonizes this love. Now, honestly, I feel I feel this represents the need to work together with your partner and resolve your current differences. And maybe that's what you're doing this month, or you're actively trying to engage in and resolve with this person, since I get the vibe that you and your partner aren't necessarily in agreement. By the way, if you're not in a relationship, in terms of love, I think this might represent your energy and not necessarily another person. It could be that you have a few options. If you're single, you do have a few options. With this card, this would represent finding someone that connects with you, that you share some common interests. But you might have some issues that are internal. There might be some like little demons that you're fighting inward within yourself, because I don't think you're completely ready for a new relationship. But regardless, in terms of an opportunity to meet someone with the Chariot and making music here, there's definite chance to meet someone that you connect with on a nice level. And I'll get one of these. All right, make the effort. I do think this applies more to the people that are in the relationship. And I feel like this adds to the fact that you and the other person need to work together to resolve whatever the issues are currently. And that whole vibe of not seeing eye to eye, to kind of just smooth out whatever the problems are between you. And in terms of being single, I actually can see this as a message to say you might have to put forth a bit of effort in order to meet someone. Like, you can't just walk down the street and hope that 10 people be like, oh, I'm interested in you. You might have to actively engage other people, or, you know, put profiles online, or go to places where you know you have a higher chance of meeting someone. That's what I feel like that's saying to you guys. All right, so usually when I see like two court cards, either they're two separate people, or one of the characters is yourself and you're embodying a different energy this week. You're an earth sign, but it's very possible that this week you might find yourself a little bit more emotional. Now, the Queen of Cups does a good job of keeping her emotions internal at times, but still there's a lot going on. There's a lot of water underneath the surface. That could be that there's a lot of emotions rising up within you this week. At the same time, we have the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, you know, in some cases, it could represent an alternate personality where you find yourself, you know, spending part of the week, again, on the more emotional spectrum, and then the other part of the week you're ready to take action, take control. You're feeling dominant, aggressive, and you're on the move with the Queen of Wands. Now, others of you are dealing with two separate females or feminine energies, and it could be like two best friends, two close friends, or two co-workers that for whatever reason play a major role this week. These could be people that are foreigners. Maybe they're visiting you from a faraway location. They're at home, you've moved away, and they're coming to see you, or you them. And I would say that these two figures would be in the same location, and they're sort of like they're coming together. Now, there's also the possibility that when it comes to friendships or relationships, that a new stage, a new level is being reached with the world here. This is like one cycle ending, another beginning. I do feel like it leans more towards friendships. Of course, it could be co-workers and relationships as well. It's not quite clear just with these three cards. Let me see one for the Queen of Cups. Oh, I was going to say it was another queen. Four of Cups. I'm leaning towards the Queen of Cups representing your emotional state. And it's possible that you're dealing with some boredom on your end. You're currently not satisfied with your situation, as the Four of Cups usually is. The Four of Cups has opportunities, but they're not opportunities that interest you at this time. For others of you, the Queen of Cups is someone that you are withdrawing from, you haven't seen it in a while, and on some level you miss them, and you are withholding from other opportunities because you're thinking about this other person. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, we have Judgment. So for some, this will be taking action, like seeing the light and figuring out what you have to do and going ahead and making the call or making the move, or doing whatever it is, whatever move that you feel like you have to make. It's an enlightening card attached to this female. For others, you're hearing from this person, or maybe this is you taking action because you missed the Queen of Cups. And again, you've felt withdrawn without their presence, so you reach out to them, you take action, you're the Queen of Wands, and you're just going for it. Definitely a possibility. And others, as I said, you're receiving a call from the Queen of Wands, and most likely has some big information, big news to follow, that in this case might relate to work. Maybe it's an offer opportunity. Maybe they feel like they owe you something, and in some ways balance between you and your connection to the Queen of Wands is being restored. Maybe it was a friendship that was on rocky ground and it's being resolved by the end of the week. If they owed you anything, they're giving it back to you. All right, what's the World? What do I have here? Hermit. I feel like you're thinking about where you're going, where you need to go this week. What's the next step for you? Some of you are taking on a new course as well that improve your skills. It's like reaching another level of study or obtaining another degree, whether it's like associates to bachelor's, bachelor's to master's, something like that. That's definitely happening. Maybe you completed a course as well. Maybe this week is the week that you complete. Of course, you have Temperance as another overall. And I would say that, you know, there's balanced energies here. So in terms of emotions, even if you are the Queen of Cups, I think emotionally you'll feel settled by the end of the week. And again, there's this restoration of balance. You might receive information or just hear from someone you've wanted to hear from, and that relationship connection is restored, and then you're no longer feeling as emotional as you were in the early days of the week. So the other deck has Six of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. As an overall, some of you are thinking about or are returning to work this week, and that's pretty much the central focus. Maybe you were on a break and, you know, it's been a while, so you're just going back. Some of you are reconciliating and working on a relationship, and I see that here. I see these two people looking at their old home and deciding to give it another shot. There is going to be hard work involved, but both parties are aware of that. That could relate to friendships, marriages, relationships. It could relate to an old job too. Maybe you've had you're going to an old job where you didn't, not so much that you didn't like it so much, but it had its own problems, and you're kind of ready to rejoin and put the work in. Maybe you're being given either the same position or another position. It's going to require a lot more work, and you're saying, fine, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the hard labor and just take it on. But I think it actually applies more to relationships, friendships, than it does work. Even though the Eight of Pentacles is there, I think it represents the hard work involved in reconciliating. And then just to contradict me, it could, of course, you could be joining your finances together again with a partner for sure, or rejoining a business partnership. That definitely is represented here. There is money involved or information regarding money that's tied to the Eight of Pentacles that might inspire you to work even harder. Maybe it's a little bonus, a little pay increase for this new position, and it's enough that you put more effort into your work, or your focus is completely on work. Others of you, this is simply an opportunity to go back to an old job that you are heavily considering and are most likely going to say yes to.